2, 1, 2. So I'm wondering if this is even working right now. I'm a little leery. I'm a little bit leery from yesterday, things shutting down and me entering doors and such. And just some things happened, and there's some things that happened yesterday. But I'm trusting that things are working right now. Okay, so hey everybody, how you doing today? My name is Samin. I'm the host of the Sam My Is Show. Appreciate you hanging out with me just a little bit. Yesterday I got a request about my tree, which is over here. I'll say I love the tree. The tree is nice. Thank you for the compliments. There's a big window over there, right, that you see the light coming from, and in front of the sound not working. I'm back to square one with that. Everything with the sound. So, window, tree, light. The light is a problem. Light, the sunlight is a problem, and it's powerful. Like the sun is the most powerful source of light, but it's just the most powerful source, period. Which sideways brings in a conversation about the people who are equipped to handle the power of the sun and the people who are not. I'm just saying there might be a little bit of a conversation there if you feel so inclined to think about what I'm saying. Like I've been places where the sun was ridiculous, and like when I was in Medicash, it was so hot and so like my iPhone was like, nah, son, no, it's hot, 105. But you know, we continue. So anyway, I got lights there. I got lights here. That's the sunlight. That's here. That's the bluish light. This is my light that I control. You see my palm looks normal here. Does it? Yeah. And I'm putting it into the light. You can see there's a light here. And so it's sort of a battle at times. But in order for me to show the tree in the daytime, it's become something completely different. It's just a whole different game. I'm checking to see if somebody's letting me know that your sound is not working, or the video is not working, or you're just not working. There's nothing about you that works. I mean, so you gotta bear with me for 5 seconds. I'm looking to that. It's been interesting to say the least. Okay, I'm just gonna trust. So I'm having a conversation today, which was a little bit of a drive-by conversation. So I'm with my girlfriend. She shows me a photo of her friend and a friend's boyfriend, or an associate in the boyfriend, right? And she says, look at the photo, and I'm like, what do you see? I'm like, well, I see a miserable woman, right? And she's like, you see that? I was like, I see it. I see it in her eyes, right? So it's not funny, but it was in that space of like, that's what I see. She looks like she's frustrated with him. I know that look, so that's how I could say it and I could speak to it very easily. And she says, oh, okay. And I think the friend, I forget who she's friends with. She's friends with both of them. And I was like, yeah, I just see it it's in the eyes, right? It's all in the eyes. The truth is in the eyes. Which is a world that I live in, because you could tell me anything you want. I could say, yo, it's all good. But if you really look in my eyes, you can see like, nah, it's not all good. It's in trouble. So that creates a space for a different kind of conversation. And she's not giving me anything, and I'm like, yo, so what do you think it is? She says, and I'm like, well, who knows what it could be? It could be all kinds of things. I can give you the generic, most obvious things, and it would be this, and he's doing that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she was like, yeah, some of that. And I was like, and she, she's a colleague, so money's like this, and this is like that, and what does he do again? And it's like all of that type of stuff. So I can create. It's not magic. It's really not magic, right? It's not magic. It's just like it's 101. Because I've lived the most average, below average life. When I talk about the function, the things that I thought that I was participating in and doing and slick about, it's already been done. And this is why I've been in the same holding pattern again and again, just different personalities, but I always bring who with me? Me. And if I keep creating the same type of drama or the same type of insecurities or whatever the issue is, right? So we continue to talk, and probably too much maybe gossip or fun. It's like you're having fun about talking about somebody else's misery, which is not really fun, which sucks. But then it got to, okay, so like what's going on with us? But before that, she asked me about me and my late wife. Like, so how did you all get to the place that you got? I was like, hard work. And then that brought up like, well, so what kind of work? So it's not like now we haven't had that conversation, but it was a new approach to a conversation that I'm always eager to talk about. Well, I was like, well, we were different places. We offered different things. And like marriage brings up, like it's a business, right? There is a business. But with my late wife, she and I spoke about it because maybe we were older. We spoke about the what is in it, in the this is what I offer, this is what you offer. This is what you don't have a clue about, this is what I'm a master at. These, like I was really good at relationships. I'm really good at I can get us in. Trust me, I can get us in. Might not be able to pay for it. Like that type of stuff. Like, oh, okay. I got the personality, just let me get to the person. And then I could create some things. But I can't get into the person. She could get us in. So we work together, and that's just like a light example. But I had more experience with relationships, whether good or bad. It's still an experience. And as long as I was willing to learn from the mistakes I made, I didn't have to make them again. And I had not like a deck of cards, but I had several relationships. She hadn't had that many relationships. So she had ideas about relationships. And I could be like, yeah, that sounds good in that Disney-esque sort of way. But in reality, it's this. And let's not look at what people are showing us on the outside. Let's get down to what is really important. And not only that, what is what we're working on? So we were really, she was an artist, so I mean, it would be drawn out. Not like pictures and stuff, but it would be like on paper and written and, okay, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And very much clear on this is the goal, right? This is the goal. And this is what I'm telling my girlfriend today. I'm like, the goal is here. Whatever it is, and you circle it. Whether it's us losing weight together, or we talked at one point about us both getting PhDs, and we looked at the programs and what school, and it was the new school that we were going to go to, because the new school does have a fantastic PhD program that you can create. And I don't work for them, but it's really interesting. And it was very clear. And she was like, okay, you just got your master's. I held you down while you did that. It was clear. It was no hidden anything. I'm uncomfortable with the idea of now you going from having nothing to having a master's degree and now getting a PhD, and I'm not getting that. So I will go first, or we can go together. But I'm not making that much of a sacrifice. And she made a lot of sacrifice. So she made it clear. And that was something that I found that was very extraordinary in our relationship. We were able to talk about the what is and call it out. Like that sucks. That's not a part of the plan. And that worked, and we both could hear it. And we had to learn how to hear it. We had to learn therapy, outside sources, programs, intimacy programs, just the idea of the conversation of us being from two different places, right, in life. Age difference, me coming from where I come from, having my experiences, her coming from where she's coming from, she's from Canada. Connected to America, not America at all. Not our little brother, not America. A completely different country with completely different ideas about things that I take for granted. Everybody knows, and it is a conversation. So we had different value systems based on the countries that we're from. But we look the same. We both are brown. You love what I love. You like that music. I like this music. everything matches up, right? So let's do it. Took so much work to get us to a place that was healthy, powerful, positive, trusting. For me, it was just like, this is not gonna last. I always go in just as my own insecurity. I'm here, but I'm not here because surely this isn't going to work. Surely, and then as we work to dissolve those thoughts, and she had her own thoughts. She thought like I could make it happen, and I'm gonna put you in a headlock. And it was like, I don't like headlocks. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I'll go, but I don't want a headlock to go. And it was some of that back and forth. And once we found that healthy medium for two adults from two different backgrounds, two different values, and actually started to collaborate and see, well, you want some of this and you want this, and like chocolate and the peanut butter, like let's make Reese's, we can do that. And these are the sacrifices that are going to have to be made from both parties. Are you willing to do that? Yeah. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be fun. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Now, there was some time, like going to the gym isn't fun. At least for me, working out isn't fun, but being fat is not fun. And I've been fat. I can tell you which one is more fun. An hour in the gym or an hour in that other body, 24 hours in that body, and the misery that came along with that. Hour to gym. Let's sign me up right now. Planks, no burpees, because I'm not physically conditioned to do that. But I did the burpees you can do if you have some body limitations. And I'm looking at the time in between planks. How much more time is this? Because I'm ready to end this, and I'll be back tomorrow. But I'm hating it today. You know what I mean? So just doing the work didn't have to always be fun. The results were fun, and then the results became a habit. So anyway, so we started to talk about the plan. Like what is it what are we doing? So I gave her everything about that relationship, and it probably was like a half an hour, 45-minute real talk. Her mentioning things about her. She was married. She has a ex-husband, and what that looked like, and how what she thinks about relationships. What are the thoughts? And we've had this conversation before. But never now. It's that time of the year, it's like I'm doing this. Like today is right now, whatever the 15th or the 14th, and this is the end of the year. So around now is when some people start thinking about what's coming in a year ahead. I've been working on it just a little bit before, and working on the goals and what is it that I want to accomplish, and the things, just 3 to 5 things that I'm really intentional about accomplishing. So we go into our place and about setting our goals. And we didn't do a workshop. And it's almost like a workshop. It literally is a workshop to get on the same page, to see what it takes to get what we both want collectively. Because it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's 3 of us, right? It's me, my daughter is like my daughter. And she has her family. She has a whole family. Like a mother, a father, brother, daughter. She has a complete unit on there. And at some points we get together, but it's still me. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. And that's my own thing. I'm just about how I look at families. So it's like, that's okay. I've trusted families. I've trusted outside families, and they don't always turn out the way it's planned. And even the trust that my relationship with my wife was going to work took a lot, because I have trust issues. And then to like go in, and then for her to die, I was like, for real, God? See, the moment I trusted, but it's not that direct or deliberate, but very much true around that. Like the moment that the resistance stopped and things started to pop in a certain way, a couple years of that, way more years of heels in the ground. Like, no, you're not gonna help me. I'm not gonna have a great life. It's not because of you. You're not, get off me. Too many years of that, right? And then it was like, okay, get a few years of this, like, oh my God, this is dope. Then it's like, for real. But I have to own and appreciate the opportunity to have had that, right? Because I hadn't had that before. I'm 46. I hadn't had anything like that before. I didn't know that existed. There were opportunities for me to have that, but it's just like, nah, I'm good. So we're talking about planning today. We were talking about it lightly. And I give her my first time she heard me say this, and I really believe this. You set your plan, your goal. It's always up. It's always up. You never have a goal to go down. It's up. But you got to stay focused on whatever the goal is. So we have a money conversation to have, like, not a money conversation. Like, we have to have a money upheaval. And it doesn't take a lot of, it's not like, oh, we need some big chunk of money. No. About $8 applesauce. That works for me. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't, though. It doesn't. It's good. It's good. It's good applesauce. But for real? And then she'll buy $8 applesauce. Can't afford $8 applesauce. But if you can, because we don't have a plan. And you know the old saying, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I've heard that for years. I hear that in my 12 step. I hear that, and it sounds so like, I gotta hear with all that. Come on. It's the reality. So what's the plan? What's the plan for us as a couple? What's the plan for my daughter, right? What's the plan for her? And I'm re-looking at her plans right now, because I've been letting COVID I've been tagging on to other people's things. And normally I'm more in charge, because I'm I was going to say the butler. I'm the chauffeur. And there's nowhere to chauffeur her to. But I was the chauffeur for the hip hop, and without any resentment, without any attitude. I mean, it would be a little bit like, come on, man. It's 9 in the morning. Let's go ballet. And she, oh, God. Dude, it's Saturday. I just take you to school 9 to 5. I take you Monday to Friday every day. Now Saturday, you wanted this ballet class. And then I just stopped doing it. I was like, you know what? Maybe you don't want to do this. But we stopped for other reasons. We stopped ballet because she came from Alabama. Facts. I'm giving you the facts right now about that. We stopped ballet because she was in Albanelli initially. She came with Albanelli dance and approach and was above and beyond her age group and the next few. And slowly but surely, she was suppressed. And I watched it. And I took her out. I watched people who could, it just was in, it was something to watch, and then for me to okay it, right? And then I just like, I can't okay this. You're not having fun. I'm not having fun, because I'm watching this one over here now become something that she had and still doesn't have the ability to be, but she's being pushed in that way. And of course, only black kid in the dance class, so all of that stuff, right? All of that. So I just took her out, put her in hip hop. Again, she still was the only black kid in hip hop, but it was a black teacher, right? That did change. That was different. And then COVID hit, and then they started doing the stuff at home, and it wasn't the same. Our home is not big enough for her to have a camera and dancing, and it just didn't work out for us. But the planning around the family, and I said, so we got to get our goals together, because I'm good at setting goals. I'm not good at scheduling. I'm good at setting goals and accomplishing them, because it's easy, because I just go in. That's all I'm doing. Not doing anything. Did you brush your teeth today? It's not on my goal list. You know what I mean? Like that. Not like that, but like that. Always better. But the goal, and I'm saying, babe, if we set the goal, and what my Denise and I were really good at was, if you 1/16th off from the goal, you'll end up in a whole different location. And what we were good at was calling each other out on when maybe this purchase had nothing to do with the goal for financial independence. A little purchase. Maybe me personally talking to this many different women from the certain programs was like, maybe that's adding some insecurity and its goal to our relationship, right? And we spoke about it, and it wasn't like you did this and you did that, and now I was like, babe, I want to point this out to you. This is what's happening. You've been on the phone 20 minutes with this person, and then you got on the phone with this person. That's 40 minutes, and you whether on the phone with another woman in the house. I need you to just be open to understanding what's going on with me. And I know you need to do that for your program, but 20-25 minutes sounds like a lot of laughter. Sometimes it was a little like, on my business, but sometimes it's like, you know what? I can check into that because I call my sponsor every day. 1 minute. 1 minute. I don't get into his personal life. If I need to schedule a time to talk to him, I do that. Certain things that, it's ways to keep it concise and keep it on par with program. And I had to look at who I was in our relationship so I could hear what she was saying and not do the, oh man, every time I turn on, which is the obvious corny thing to do, right? And I can make it all about, see, that's everything. You see what happened because you do that, blah, blah. And then now we never get to talk about what she brought up to my attention as something that's taking us off the target, off the goal. And I was able to do the same thing. And that's something that started to make it work, where we both would do things that were just a little bit, and then you just like, let me tap you over, and then let me tap you over and get you back focused. So from looking at this photo today, what came up for us is there's a need for us to really look at it, because we've been living single in a relationship together, which is so easy, right? So easy. And it's not like single, like I'm out there swinging or she's swinging. I'm not gonna clean that out. But it's not that single, but it's like I'm independent. I got my own life, which is powerful and necessary for me to have my own life and for her to have her own life, which she does. And then there's a space for us both having our own life so much that we have our own lives. And we don't have a unified life. Like there's no intentionality about there being us outside of laying down in bed and doing bedroom things, which sometimes are fantastic, sometimes are just sleep. You know what I mean? But where's the outside intentionality around having your own personal life? Because that's so necessary. I need to do this. I'm in different things where I'm like, I'm here, I'm doing my thing. There is zero space for you to be in this. This is Samin's, and there's her thing, and it's like, it's no space for you in it. And I'm not interested in her creating the space for me to be in it. But then what are we creating together to be like a Venn diagram? You know what I mean? Like Venn diagram. That's pretty good. The Venn diagram, the two circles and you meet, and then you got the little oval shape in the middle. Own personal life, and then what are the things inside the Venn diagram where we connect and come together? That's important for the relationship. And to constantly check in and to be intentional about, we should have a talk. Like, so robotic to the fact that I think we set up times. If I remember, we would say it was Sunday was the day that we would check in for the week. Check in on the past. Like, would this happen? And I didn't say anything about it, but this is what came up for me. And I had to work through my own thing. Because I'm still human. And it does, because I feel a certain way, or because you were rude to me and that made me sad, that doesn't mean I need to stop you every single time, and stop your flow and make it about me because I'm some poor victim. And I have to own up to my ability to do that. Like, I'm so sad, I'm so this. Oh, I own it. But it was like Saturday night, Sunday that we would talk about it. Like, so what do you have? And like I said, she was the artist, so she would have the list. And then the list got shorter, and then sometimes it would be longer. But it was stuff that we would check in on, and this is where we are, and this is what the goal is, and this is what we're doing, which was a beautiful thing. And I hadn't had the desire to do that since that happened, right? Been a little bitter, right? But not really convinced that it's accountability. It is the Spanx. I was gonna say a girdle, but nobody wears girdles anymore. That's like the Spanx of the relationship because it's on tight and you feel it and it sucks it all in and you gotta like have it on. You don't know you don't have. There's no moment that's on. I mean, I had like a little top thing. I was having looking buff. It was like, but there was no moment that I didn't know I didn't have that on. Like every moment that I had it on, it was just the breath, and that's what it is. That's how some of the boundaries can be, But what does that allow for, So I wanted to share that because that came up just like really minutes ago before I got live, and I was like, oh, you know what? Forget what I was going to talk about. I'm going to talk about this because this is actually presently happening right now. This is live, and she's like, don't talk about me, which is what she always says. And I said, I think you maybe need to break up with me if you don't want me to talk about you. But I'm talking about every single person that comes into my life. Unless they say, don't talk about me. Except for her. Because I am going, it's too much. It's too connected to me. Everybody else's stuff, they're telling me about their own personal life. But we're talking about our life. And so if I'm talking about you, I'm talking about me. I will never randomly just talk about her. But I'll talk about her in context of our relationship. I'm going to. And she knows it. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me just a little bit today. Listen, love your daughters. Love your daughters. It's like I want to give some advice. I'm not capable, but the goal, I really think that's a missing. So I do talk to people, and I've coached people, right? And a lot of the work that I've done with people, relationships, mostly women. Like mostly I coach women, right? It's only been women. A couple guys, like boys. My boy will come in for something until I say something he doesn't want to hear. And there's always something he doesn't want to hear because I say what he doesn't want to hear. Because he wants to hear me say to him what he doesn't want to hear. And that's what makes that relationship go. He's like, yeah, I know, but I don't want to hear it, but I'll tell him anyway. And he's like, okay, I thought it, but anyway. But in those relationships with women, and they have these relationships, let's get down to like, what's the goal? Like, what are you working on? What's so about it? You know what I mean? A lot of times it's women know the whole truth and it's the inevitable, and they just don't want to realize it, right? So that's a fact for me. I've been in that relationship. I've been in that situation. Well, this is not at all anything that I want to be involved in, and I can't believe it. So I've decided to stay in this relationship. I decided that this was going to be it, and I killed off everything else. So I'm here, and it was like, but the knowing that it wasn't workable was what had me miserable. She didn't have me miserable. She didn't have me miserable. It was me knowing that I needed not to be involved, and I was going to continue being involved. That actually impacted my self-worth and my self-esteem. And that is what had me miserable. There's nothing that a person has ever done to me that can ever really have me miserable. You know what I mean? I'm like a willing participant in all that is. I'm right there. I'm involved. And this is when we wrap up right now. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me just a little bit. I started to go somewhere else again. I'm going to bring it right back home. Love your daughters. Take good care of yourselves. It's really sunny out there, but it's cold. Anyway, do something nice for yourself. I want to appreciate you for hanging out with me on the Sam Myers Show. Again, I am Samin, the host. I am the host. I'm telling myself that, too. Of the Sam Myers Show. Thank you for hanging out with me. Peace. I'm getting ready to close this up. Let me see what we got here. Take good care.